Let's play now with the other shapes, with the other meshes that we can create. I'm going to remove this box at this moment. And now let's add a cylinder. So for the cylinder, here you can see the default values, 50, 200, 16, etc. You know what are the default values, because at the moment that you change something, like let's say this one for 18, then an arrow appears here. The default values are the ones that when you click the arrows are going to be here. If you don't have any arrows, then this is set on the default values. Let me move this cylinder a bit to one side. So let's play with other elements. The first one I want to play is the height. As you can imagine, the height will move this object up. At this moment it's 2 meters. Let's go to 4 meters. So here you have the mesh with 4 meters. The other parameters, as you can imagine, is the number of slices. Number of slices are not so clear as they are presented at this moment. But you can select the show the wireframe, and now you can have a more clear visualization of the number of slices. Let me reduce the velocity for the camera here. Just a little bit. Exactly. Good. So here you can see the number of slices. Now let's say that I want to move this to the double, 32. So now you can see how many slices is divided the object. Remember that the more slices you have, the more geometry it is necessary to create this object, and of course the rendering is going to take more time. That's the only consideration, but depending on the kind of object that you want to create, you can play with these values as you wish. As in the other cases, you have the static mesh, the volume, or dynamic mesh, and you can play with these values as well. And the rest are very similar to the others that we presented with the cube. Then we have the height of the subdivision. Sorry, let me move it here. So the height of the subdivision can be seen very clear when you change this value to, let's say, 4. Now, as you can see here, in the height of this object, you have 4 subdivisions. 1, 2, 3, and 4. By default, you don't have any subdivisions. And if you're not going to rotate or deform this object in, let's say, in Y, if this object is going to be just like this one, is going to be just a straight tube, then you don't have really to add more subdivisions. But if you are thinking about bending this object, definitely subdivisions is something that you must address. I'm going to move this to the default values. Oh, no, this one, I'm going to leave it in 400. I want it to be a bit tall. And the rest are values very similar to what we found for the cube. So let's accept. I'm going to save in the current folder, which is this one. I'm going to accept, and now we have our first cylinder where the static mesh is here. Now that I have the static mesh, I can add it to the scene, and as you can see, they both belong to the same static mesh. What is important about saying this is the fact that let's say that you change one of these meshes. Let's say that I decided at any moment that I want this mesh to be shorter. If one of these meshes is changed, the other will be changed. And I will let you know how to deal with this kind of changes. Let's go. We will get to the transform and to the modeling of the objects. And when we get there, I will explain you the details.